plans for a major fundraiser for lupus, a song from a professional entertainer, and some helpful hints on how to conquer debt. All this and more coming right up. I hope you'll stay tuned.
Providing entertainment for over 25 years, WALA-TV presents a tradition in Mobile, the Dot Moore Show. Once again, Dot Moore.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. We're glad you're there. Thank you for joining us. And today we'll talk with Francis Lewis Taylor, who is head of the Lupus Association and has plans for a telethon. Charles Grant is here, and he will entertain us with a song and tell us about his career and more. But first, our feature fashion on location. This colorful Mardi Gras mural is a reminder to all of us here on the Gulf Coast about the happy times of the carnival season in Mobile. And of course, we're in the lobby now of Mobile Civic Center, where much of the Mardi Gras activities do take place, along with other things as they come along. We're standing in the lobby at the entrance to the arena, where you can see some nights the Mobile Mystics ice hockey team, but other nights are alive with the formal balls of all of the mystic societies that parade the streets during the carnival season. Our feature fashion today can take you through Mardi Gras, maybe the Queen's Luncheon or other things, and it's designed by Herbert Grossman. Yellow is the happy color, and that's the jacket, trimmed in navy blue buttons, tying in with a navy blue straight skirt and a jewel neckline. Add jewelry or leave it alone. And our fashion is courtesy of Holiday on Old Shell Road at Spring Hill. Some good news on the home front. Economists say that mortgage rates are much lower than they were in 1996. However, the bad news is no one really knows how long this trend will continue. Tom Kendall has that story.
Millions more Americans can now afford to buy a piece of the American dream. One big reason? Mortgage rates are now well below those seen during most of 1996, and in fact well below the 9.2% average of the last decade. But should you seal the deal now at a low fixed rate, or wait, hoping those rates dip even further?
If you like the house that you are looking at, I would not hesitate to recommend buying it, because the rates are historically low, and no one, really no one, I emphasize, can predict accurately when interest rates will peak or valley. The risk is that the interest rates could go up, and in that situation, some of the people, especially some of the first-time home buyers, could be priced out of the market.
First-time buyers Stephen and Robin Francisco were priced out of a home in this neighborhood in the past. This year, earning roughly the same income, but facing lower monthly payments due to lower mortgage rates, home ownership became a reality.
When we were renting, we thought that a lot of our money was going nowhere. Now, our money is going towards our future, or towards the mortgage, towards our home, towards building equity.
Low rates are also spurring homeowners, such as Karen and Peter Cagnasola, to move up. They were able to go from a two-bedroom condo to this spacious four-bedroom home.
Lower interest rates afforded us an opportunity to buy a bigger house than we ever dreamed possible, and without making any compromises, put us in the neighborhood that we always dreamed of being in.
Consumer experts advise you to get pre-approved for a mortgage before you start house hunting. Sellers are more likely to compromise if they know you're ready to deal.
This should go very quickly.
Here at an office of Norwest Mortgage, the country's leading mortgage lender, computer-assisted online approvals can be made within a couple of days, in some cases within hours. One reason many seem poised to move quickly? Norwest Mortgage representatives say that while the future is uncertain, today's lower mortgage rates translate to about a 10% increase in home purchasing power. This is Tom Kendall reporting.
Well, the experts are telling us now something we already knew, that in the United States, wages have not kept up with the cost of living. And, of course, credit cards are very convenient. However, all that fast cash adds up pretty quickly. Here's a report on that.
90% of Americans claim to be in debt. Excessive balances on car loans, mortgages, and credit cards are all to blame. In the past 2 years, credit card delinquencies have jumped 40%, a 15-year high.
The credit cards are the last things I'm paying, so, but yes, it is very easy to run up your bills on the credit cards.
You just pay the minimum balance and hope that the next month is more of a lucky month.
It's a story a lot of consumers know too well.
People are struggling just to keep up, and if a person has a balance on their credit card of $2,000 at 18.5%, It would take them almost 11 years to pay that down, and in the end they would have paid off about $4,000 on the original balance of $2,000.
Once you're in debt, it's hard to get out. Now help is on the way, at least for the 35 million people who own computers. Quicken, the personal financial software, not only helps you stay on top of your finances, but it helps you get in control and conquer your debt too. This new debt reduction feature is on the latest version of Quicken Deluxe. Just input the balances on all of your credit cards or loans, the finance or monthly charges, and the amount you want to pay. The debt reduction feature analyzes all your accounts and looks at your spending and savings to determine how long it will take to get out of debt. It will also suggest a financial plan to help you climb out of debt more quickly, saving you money at the same time.
People need to sit down and work out a strategy or a plan. There are some excellent software packages on the market right now. Quicken is one of them, and it's able to help them monitor their expenses on a monthly, weekly, daily basis. It may help them get out of debt and stay out of debt.
If you're like most Americans whose New Year's resolutions include getting your debt and finances in order, this debt reduction program may be the best present you can give yourself. In New York, Christy Farrer reporting.
Welcome back. There never has been a major fundraiser for the disease called lupus. And we have some people in the studio today who are interested in having that come about in our area. Please welcome Frances Lewis Taylor, who is head of the Mobile Lupus Association. And next to her is professional entertainer Charles Grant, who has just come home. And we'll get into that a little later on while we talk to Frances first. Frances, how long have you had it in your mind that you would like to create a telethon for the lupus?
For about 6 months.
Really?
But I always wanted something like this to happen because I was always very fond of Jerry Lewis with the muscular dystrophy type. And I thought this would be a good thing for lupus since so very little is known about it, so less attention is known about it, or should I say so little attention is known about lupus in the Mobile community anyway.
Well, now, tell us exactly what is lupus?
Lupus can be chronic and fatal disease, and it can form from a mild illness to chronic. And in the long run, it can cause death. It just depends upon the person.
Oh, and it affects any age particularly?
It affects any age, also men. But normally it affects us of childbearing ages. But it can come about, it can start on you at 10 years old.
And there's no cure, obviously, or you would not be trying to do a fundraiser.
No cure, no cause. They don't know what causes it.
So far, what has happened? What steps have you taken to try to get a telethon together?
I have contacted several of our business persons. Also our leaders in Mobile, such as the mayor and the city councilman and some of our judges and lawyers.
And have you found them real cooperative?
Well, they want to be. They're working on it. And they're considering everything they can do to help. And they'll be getting back with me on a specific time and date.
That is great. Now, Charles, I understand that you also will not only entertain if this telethon comes about, but you will be one of the coordinators.
Yes.
Or co-chairman or whatever.
Very true. Upon meeting Ms. Lewis, I found that her cause was a great one, and so her talking to me and explaining and going over the lupus, I thought it was something that I would want to be a part of, to give some support in. And so my entertainment side is a side that maybe I can bring in some people that, you know, from the star age that would come in and help and support and give her that that edge that she's looking for to help to get this telethon going.
Wonderful. We're going to talk about your background and what you've done with your beautiful career in a little while.
Thank you.
Frances, you need not only sponsors, you need volunteers as well?
Well, on the 15th of March, that will be out at Springdale Mall from 10 o'clock until 4, and we will need volunteers. And when I say volunteers, not only people that will come out there and devote their time to passing out leaflets, but those persons that has printing companies, if they want to volunteer and make us some of these copies for Lupus, we need it because we're going to be out there. And then after that, we're going to be distributing these same copies in grocery stores, beauty shops, anywhere you find a variety of people, you know,
that's a great idea because it's very informative. It goes into lots of detail now. That brings me to the subject of the fact that you're going to be at Springdale Mall for some occasion, and that's on the 15th, I believe.
Right, of March.
Tell me about that. What is that?
Well, this is an organization, organization set up of just more than Lupus. But I would like for Lupus to shine more so than any other organizations due to the fact that we have little attention. Heart Association, AIDS, kidney, diabetes associations, they have all that is to be given to the attention, and we need it more than they do. We have people dying every day with lupus not knowing what they have.
Yeah, I see.
Because a lot of us don't have monies, we're turned off Social Security because the doctors don't know enough about lupus to turn you away. So those people be undiagnosed and die not knowing that they have the disease except on autopsy reports that are given to their family.
And you will be able to at least start the thought in the community after it's March the 15th. We're going to pop up a telephone number now that you might call for further information if you'd like to find out more. I think you're certainly to be commended for all of the effort you've put into this. And I guess you just felt an impetus all of a sudden to do it.
Anything, not only telethon, but anybody that wants to do a cabaret, a gospel program, anything they feel that can make money for us, because what I'd like to really see done is more research.
Yes.
We have a big enough lab out at the University of South Alabama. We have doctors that are well equipped out there that can really do research.
How do you really feel at this point? Or do you feel encouraged with the steps you've taken, that you think that something might really come about?
Yes, the person that's really trying to help me with the telethon, I will not mention his name at this time. I have had numerous of letters pour into him from people of all walks of life, encouraging him how many years that I have been keeping the public aware on lupus and how this is a very worthy cause. Not only me having the disease, but so many others. I'm more concerned about other people than I am myself, especially those persons that do not have medical insurance.
Yes.
They don't have monies to go to the doctor, because once you go to the doctor and he say you don't have lupus, you have a variety of other diseases, which that's the way it works with us. If you don't have money to keep being checked, well, you never be diagnosed as having lupus. You may be diagnosed as having diabetes, AIDS, cerebral palsy, because lupus has a variety of other symptoms. So if you don't have the monies to keep going to the doctor to find out that you have this disease, well, you die still not knowing what you have.
You certainly have just told us exactly what I was going to ask you to do, and that is to make it very clear to people why they need to call that number for more information. Charles, we're going to talk to you on the next segment. Francis, thank you so much for coming, and good luck, and keep up the good work.
Okay, thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages. Well, on the last segment of the show, we were talking with Charles Grant about his participation for lupus as a benefit singer. Now we're going to talk career, because I'm very anxious to let the public hear about your career. You left Mount Vernon, which was your home, Mount Vernon, Alabama, when you were quite young?
Quite young, quite young.
And so you, all the time, were you dreaming of being a singer?
All my life.
Who were your heroes on the singing side in those days?
Well, you know, being from Mount Vernon, you know, we were sort of secluded, you know.
Yes.
But my mom, you know, God bless her, so my mom, I had a triplet up in Mount Vernon. As a child, I listened to my mom
sing. She was a singer?
Great singer. Still sings today. Yeah, she's with one of the James Cleveland workshops here in Mobile. But I listened to my mom sing with a gospel group as a child coming up. and I heard that music, and I knew that that was something that I wanted.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. And then along the way, of course, you probably had some national singers that you picked up on and thought were pretty great.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ray Charles.
Oh, yes. He has such a style.
As a child, Ray Charles was just the epitome of what I wanted to sing, how I wanted to sing, such soulfulness, you know, and such versatility.
Well, Charles, you've had quite a career. You sang with some pretty big groups, including the Platters,
yes,
who are so well known,
yeah.
And you've done international work. Tell me how that was when you were in the midst of all that.
Sort of like a dream come true.
I bet.
You know, something you've always thought about, you know, as you see it on TV.
Yeah.
But I can truthfully say, you know, all of those things have come to pass, and I've traveled, like you say, the world, and I've enjoyed a lot of the artists, and just had a fun time sharing the old nostalgia, rock and roll, and just the trivia of singers coming up in those great days.
Yes, in golden oldies.
In the golden oldies.
Oh,
days, yeah.
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, now that you're back, you are wanting to work and are working some. We're going to pop a telephone number up right now before Charles entertains us, where you can call if you'd like to book him for parties or whatever.
Yeah.
And now it's time for some music. So what are you going to do for us?
Well, I'm going to do one of the old classics for you.
Good.
That maybe you can remember.
Okay, I imagine I can.
Asked me how I knew my true love was true. I cannot reply. Something here inside cannot be denied. They said someday you'll find all whose love are blind. When your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes. So I chant them and I gaily laugh to think they would die, my love. And yet today my love has flown away. I am without my love. So laughing friends derive tears I cannot hide. When your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes. Smoke.
The latest Warner Brothers movie, Vegas Vacation, stars Chevy Chase and Randy Quaid in some situations that shouldn't happen to a dog, much less people on vacation. Here's a peek preview. Funny stuff. That's our show. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'd like to thank our guests for coming. And until we see you next week, I hope you